Hey everyone, it's Alan over at Cobblers Plus, and today, Soul Talk Sunday episode, we're talking about these guys again. So come join us, check out how the Dainite stacks up against the Vibram Eton sole, and we'll see what kind of updates we have for you. So thank you for joining us. Like I said, we're doing a little bit of an update finally today. Nothing too major to really report necessarily. We haven't had really any snowstorms for me to be able to really test it out between the two different soles. Like I mentioned in my last video, I had a recording of some ice and snow type of scenario, but it wasn't a great recording, so I can't really feature that. Unfortunately, it was too dark. It was late at night, and it just was a horrible test. So unfortunately, I can't show you that, and I can't give you any updates quite yet on that. Hopefully, here in two weeks when we do our next video, between then and now, we have some kind of little bit of a snowstorm, so I can actually test it out on the ice and snow for you, and really be able to show that a little bit better. Now, as you can tell, obviously these are a little bit dirty. You had seen Sebastian work on these guys. Hopefully, if you've seen that video, he ended up conditioning them. Obviously, I work in the back of the shop. We live in an area where there's a lot of dirt and dust, and so both of these are dirty and dusty again, and I'm not touching them until I do the videos for everybody to be able to see. Now, as far as where it goes, we'll start out with these, since these were the ones that I ended up starting out with. Not much else to really update. I mean, there is some slight wear on the Dainite heel there, a little bit. It's just barely starting to wear out there on that edge, and it's mainly just that little corner piece that's lifted up. Just very slight wear, nothing major. As far as the soles, same thing. It looks like the center pegs are what I'm wearing out. Now I'm hoping I'll try to take some pictures and do some close-ups for you there, but yeah, that's what it looks like. But I mean, yeah, actually those pegs are wearing out fair amount right there now that I look even closer. So I will definitely have to take some closer pictures for everybody on that one. Let's look at this one, and let's see. Overall, seems like, yeah, it's about the same. The pegs are just barely starting to wear out. The pegs don't protrude so much on the Vibram Eton, but it doesn't really look like there's much else changed. There's just a very, very slight change on the pegs there. I don't know if the camera's catching it. It's worn down here a little bit in the middle. As far as the heel, there's very slight wear, but nothing that bad. Thickness wise, again, it's so small that it's almost like no point in really measuring it quite yet. But from appearance wise, it definitely looks like the Dainite is actually wearing down a little bit quicker on us right now over the Vibram Eton sole. So that's kind of a surprise, honestly, for me. I was really assuming that the Dainite would actually outlast it because it's a denser rubber. But we'll really see how things really stack up, again, in a longer period of time. So that's those guys. But let me take some pictures, and you guys can check that out a little bit up closer to see what it really looks like. So hopefully that kind of showed everything off a little bit, and camera angles were catching it nicely. Now these ones, they smell a little funky. You can't smell through the camera, and you're lucky. I was wearing these all day. I have no shoes on right now because I took these guys off. But so again, this one with the non-channeled top stitch, same story. It looks like the pegs are just barely starting to wear out right there in the middle of the foot. The heel, I'm not seeing much there. I mean, it's so tiny, but it's not really wearing out quite yet at all. There is some noticeable wear already on the stitches that it's starting to wear out there on the Dainite sole. Looks like right there and right up here. It's not quite worn out through the stitches, but it is starting to show signs of wear through the stitches. Now the Vibram sole, same exact story, very minor wear it looks like. Again, the pegs are starting to wear out a little bit there. Heel is got minimal to no drag almost quite yet. As far as the stitches, there's not as much stitch that is wearing out quite yet, but yeah, it looks like just a tiny bit that I'm starting to touch those stitches in those areas there, but not nearly as much. So that's our test for overall as far as how the stitches are holding up. So I'm going to take some photos of this one up close as well so that you can actually take a look at it. But before I do that, let me real quick mention, or I'll do that after the pictures. So check out the pictures real quick. So you can pause the video if you want to and actually examine it a little bit closer. All right, so hopefully you got some good views on both of these soles, you know, side by side there. By the way, I've got my Team Shine Force shirt on. It's my purple shirt. This is my only purple shirt, thanks to Jason Dornstar. At Jason Dornstar, you can find him on YouTube and check out his ASMR shoe shine videos. They're gonna put you to sleep like a good old lullaby. It's definitely relaxing. I can't even listen to that stuff. I tried turning it back on in the shop back there, and it makes me go want to take a nap. But so watch that before bedtime. Don't watch that middle of the day when you're working. You're gonna get a little too relaxed there. But wanted to give him a shout out. So again, Jason Dornstar, I'll probably tag him up here wherever the little icon pops up, and I'll leave a link in the description for his channel as well. But now back to these shoes. As far as how much I've walked in them so far, so I've gotten a total of let's see, so 6 days on these, or 7 days on these guys, 6 days on these. So I've got the Red Wings at sorry, I'm trying to think, where did I write it? I had a bunch of little weird notes. Okay, so it was 17 or 18.7 on the Red Wings. I'll leave that in the description there below. And 17.8 on these. I put a little extra miles on these actually a couple of days in a row. So, or why do I have 17 on there? My math was wrong. Okay, so 18.7 and 18.8. I got a little bit more of this, even though I wore it one less day. Basically, it doesn't include tomorrow, Sunday. I'm recording this on a Saturday, so let me make sure I write that properly since my math was all messed up. So 18, you see me right on the YouTube, right? But anyways, so as far as overall feel on these guys, obviously I'm loving these ones a lot more because these have that midsole and the shank and the JR heel base on there as well, the JR leather heel base. So I'm loving these a lot more. These ones are still killing my feet. I mean, they're passable. They're a nice low profile, definitely a thinner sole, looks nice and slim, but because these are at the moment my daily wear and I'm just alternating between these two, it's only once a week that I'll actually switch out to a different shoe, like on the weekend, mainly on Saturdays if we go out to the Cigar Lounge and I'll dress up a little bit better with something. Again, these two are just getting beaten up completely, so I definitely end up running my feet through these quite a bit. And again, the original heel block on here, the no shank and no midsole, I definitely feel it a lot more. A lot of people were always wondering about the little pegs, if you feel them. I'm not personally feeling them all that much, honestly. I don't know. I really try to concentrate a lot on trying to see if I can feel them somehow. I don't know if it's just because the cork, I actually have a good amount. I honestly have a feeling that sometimes maybe some people might be able to feel these Dainite pegs because the factory originally, or maybe even a cobbler, just didn't put enough cork in there, where I did fill it in and make sure it's as flush as possible. Plus, we don't use hot cork method. We use predetermined density and predetermined thick cork in these, well, in any of our resole options. So the cork is nice and perfect every time, basically, where hot cork has a lot more of a solvent. It's like a rubber solvent that gets melted, in other words. And so I'm wondering if because of that there's actually technically less cork in there, you may be actually feeling those pegs just a little bit more. Those of you who are Allen Edmonds fans like these guys here, you may be, well, most of you should know what hot cork is. it's great stuff, but I'm not a huge fan of it. If I had the opportunity to get a free machine for hot corking, I probably wouldn't use it, honestly. It sounds quick and easy, a lot faster than what we do, but from what I've been testing out, because I've got these other Allen Edmonds up here, I've got my Cornwallises, I got Park Avenues. It definitely, I mean, I could feel it just a little bit more, but these, granted, have a leather sole. They're a little bit different. So just wanted to give you a heads up that may be the reason why some of you out there may be feeling those pegs a little bit more on the Dainite sole. Obviously, for the Vibram Eton sole, you're probably not feeling it as much because the pegs are smaller, and that's if you have the Vibram sole put on by a cobbler. Allen Edmonds does not use this Vibram sole. That's just from what I can take. Midsole on there with 1/8 of an inch extra material, I definitely don't feel it. I tried. There's not even a hint of me being able to feel anything on these guys. Great support and everything that I feel with that added shank and that midsole. So that's the overall feel of it. The shoes are technically overall different. Obviously, every shoe's a little bit different and stuff side by side, but again, our main goal is to test out the Vibram Eton versus Dainite sole, and I'm able to firmly test out, what the feel overall is like. So hopefully everybody is enjoying the video so far. If you did, make sure you give a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'm sorry, I've been really backed up with a lot of craziness going on these last couple of weeks. Last weekend I even ended up missing our video post. My computer ended up crashing during trying to upload the video. It literally just froze and I could not get it to restart. And so I've got the video up already. You should be able to check that out already. It was a resole that I did with a JR sole. You'll see it's blue, kind of cool. But definitely check that out. That was a Blake Stitch model shoe, by the way, if you want to see that. Otherwise, make sure to check out Sebastian's video shining these up. Check out Jason Dornstar as well. But before you watch Jason's and fall asleep, check out Sebastian's video on these, because these are a Chrome XL leather, and that's what he was working on. We got one of our new favorite products that we've been using that he's featuring. It's really cool, so definitely check that out, and if you need it, you can find it on our website. Otherwise, after giving Sebastian a good thumbs up, because it always amps him up, check out Jason's videos and go to sleep with a nice lullaby. But again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below for any questions or comments. Hit that notification bell icon if you want to be notified as soon as our next video is out. And we'll see you next time.